Hello, my dear ones. Today our lesson will be on the Fielding Rise method, and the topic of our lesson will be reducing the hunch and straightening our shoulders. I ask you not to look at the screen, not to watch what I am doing, but to dive within yourself and observe how the movement occurs inside you. To begin, simply stand in a way that feels most comfortable for you, and carefully observe how you are currently standing, including the position of your shoulders and your head. Is your head positioned over your rib cage, or is it jutting forward? Perhaps it is tilted to one side or slightly turned. Are you slouching? Or on the contrary, are you squeezing your shoulder blades together? How are you breathing right now at this moment? How do you stand overall? Start turning your head from side to side, simply observing the quality of this movement. How freely does your head move? In which direction the movement occurs more freely and in which it is more difficult? Start turning your whole body, first to one side and then to the other, as if you want to look behind you. How is this movement coming to you right now? Which direction do you find it easier to turn? Just take note. And we lie comfortably and gently on our backs. Please slowly stretch your legs and gently extend your arms along your body and relax. And be aware of your body and be mindful of your body in the lying down position. How are you currently making contact with the surface at this very moment? How exactly is your pelvis positioned? How do you feel in this particular area of your lower back? How exactly are your legs positioned, specifically? Do your hips press equally into the floor? Or does one hip press a little more? We are not changing anything right now, just observing. Notice how your chest is lying and observe the gentle rise and fall with each breath. How well are you exactly and precisely truly aware of the width of your chest? Ensure that your ribs are in contact with the floor. This will help you maintain a stable position. How do your necks feel? Is there perhaps a bit of tension there, or maybe some? And how is your head lying now? How your back of the head gently contacts the floor in a comfortable manner. And now, begin to gently turn your head from side to side with a small amplitude. Observe this movement. Which direction does your head turn more easily? Which direction is more difficult? Stop in the center and carefully and gently roll onto your right side. If you need a cushion under your head, place it there, or let it be a rolled towel. Alternatively, you can fold the mat if you feel tension in the neck area. Place your right hand under your head so that your head rests comfortably on your hand. If you feel uncomfortable here, place a cushion or towel underneath. Place your left arm along your body so that it rests comfortably on the area of your pelvis. Bend your knees for your own personal comfort and stability while performing the exercise. And now begin to gently and smoothly move your left shoulder forward and return it to the center. Gently move it forward and bring it back to the center. The movement is very smooth, very soft. You bring your left shoulder forward and then return it back. And while you initiate this movement, you observe how your head reacts, whether your head wants to move along with your shoulder. as your shoulder blade glides along your ribs, moving away from the spine and then coming closer. And start allowing your rib cage to move slightly, a little in response to your shoulder. Your head should slowly and gently roll back and return to its original center. Breathe calmly and evenly. Do not hold your breath. The first movement is initiated by your left shoulder. It slides forward slightly and then comes back again. Forward and comes back. Please perform the movement not mechanically, but by observing how your entire body reacts to this movement, how it engages in the process. What about your jaw? What about your face? Is everything relaxed? Or is there some tension that you are creating and holding in your body? If so, please let it go. And stay centered. Now begin to pull your left shoulder back, just the shoulder, and return it back to the center. Pull it back and return it. And as you pull your shoulder back, you begin to notice how your shoulder blade starts to move closer to the spine and then returns to a neutral position, moving closer and returning. Is this movement smooth, or do you feel that there are perhaps some slight jerks in the movement somewhere? Just simply notice how your entire back responds to the movement of your shoulder blade, and start allowing your chest to also move slightly back, to roll a bit in your head and look towards the ceiling, and then return back to the center. And again, your left shoulder moves back, your chest responds. You feel your lower ribs gently making contact with the floor, and you slowly roll over your lower ribs. And what do you carefully pay attention to? Only your left shoulder and nothing else. Or can you notice yourself as a whole in its entirety? Notice how the chest rotates, moves, and shifts. How you gently press on the lower ribs, how your head begins to slowly and carefully roll. And now begin to move your left shoulder forward, allowing the chest to rotate. And then the left shoulder moves back slightly and the chest follows your shoulder. The shoulder moves clearly forward and clearly backward in a smooth and controlled manner. Your left palm is resting gently on the area of your pelvis. She remains completely motionless, with her pelvis barely making any noticeable movements at all, staying still and showing no signs of movement whatsoever. It just turns slightly a little bit more behind the chest. You move in that comfort zone where you feel that you are in control of this movement. All movement comes from your left shoulder. You breathe calmly. And now come to a complete stop, then gently lie down on your back, making sure to relax your entire body and breathe deeply. And become aware of what has already changed in your body. Notice how the contact of your left shoulder blade with the floor has already changed. Notice the difference. The left half of the pelvis may be positioned quite differently. Observe carefully and thoroughly to see if anything significant has changed or not. And we will again lie on our right side gently and through a gentle kriyat. Place your right hand slightly under your head and your left hand along your body. And now start gently lifting your left shoulder up towards your left ear and slowly bringing it back to the center. And carefully raise your left shoulder up towards your ear. Hold it there for a moment, and then gently bring it back down to the center position. And observe whether the shoulder lifts straight up or if it moves up and diagonally. How does this movement occur? What specific trajectory does your shoulder and your scapula move along during this exercise? Can you direct the movement straight up and then return it back to the center smoothly? How does this movement feel to you? Is this movement smooth and continuous, or is it intermittent and jerky? Remember, the importance of smoothness in this movement cannot be overstated. And what can you do within your body to initiate movement as smoothly as possible? Do you lift your shoulder exactly on the inhale or on the exhale? What type of breathing do you choose when you are feeling stressed or relaxed? Stop in the center and begin to reach your shoulder slightly towards the left side of the pelvis, lowering it down and bringing it back. You reach with your left shoulder towards the left side of the pelvis and then return. What is happening with your hand? What is happening with your palm at this moment? Is it sliding along the half of the pelvis? Or can you keep your wrist completely still and initiate the movement with your shoulder instead, ensuring that the wrist does not move at all and the shoulder is the sole initiator of the movement? Is the shoulder moving straight down in a straight line? Or is it going off at an angle or not? And start to slowly and gently lift your shoulder up and down, drawing a straight line with your shoulder, and smoothly. Lift your shoulder up as high as possible and lower it down as much as you can, friends, but only within your comfort zone. You move only where it is safe for you, where you feel comfortable, and where there is no pain. And try to make this movement very, very smooth as a single whole. Breathe. And stop. Gently roll onto your back. Extend your legs, extend your arms. And rest. And you already know that this is not actually rest, but rather the absorption of new information and new changes that have occurred in your body. How do you currently feel your entire left arm as it lies on the floor compared to your right? How is your shoulder blade positioned right now? Start by gently turning your head from side to side, slowly and carefully. Notice which direction you wanted to turn your head at the very beginning, paying close attention to any preferences or tendencies. Has the movement of your head become easier? This is not about the amplitude of the movement, my friends. It's about the quality of the movement. And again, gently and very smoothly roll onto your right side, slowly into the same position. The right arm is slightly and gently under your head. The left arm is resting comfortably and carefully on your left hip. And now, gently and slowly begin lifting your left shoulder up. Move it forward, and then lower it down carefully. And pull back. We carefully connect these 4 points together, precisely. We gently lift the shoulder up, move it slightly forward, lower it down, and then pull it back. And start drawing the very largest circle with your shoulder now, slowly connecting these 4 points. Be extremely precise in this movement. We are drawing a very precise circle with the left shoulder, connecting 4 points. Is it really a circle? Can we indeed draw a circle? Or is something limiting this movement? Perhaps some unseen force? Observe carefully what this is. It may be your neck, or it may be your chest, or even your back. And do you know exactly where the central point of this circular area is? What is happening with your left palm right now? You move your shoulder by sliding your left palm along half of the pelvis. Or you can gently and slowly maintain your left palm motionless and allow only the shoulder to move. Are you breathing while you're doing this, or have you perhaps held your breath? And what about your jaw, maybe? What about the facial muscles? Allow everything to be very relaxed. and try to create a very smooth movement. For now, we are only moving in one direction. Breathe while doing this. Breath flows continuously through your body. Observe what is happening in the chest and in the neck. And stop, lie on your back for a while. And observe carefully what has changed. Is there perhaps a feeling that you are lying completely differently now? Is there actually a difference between the right shoulder blade and the left shoulder blade, really? In fact, is there a difference between the right and left sides of the body? Perhaps the lower back is lying in a completely different way and feels more relaxed. One leg may sometimes feel longer than the other. Do you breathe differently when you are relaxed or stressed in different situations? And we lie down on our right side once more again, in the same position. And start drawing a circle in the opposite direction. You lift your shoulder up towards your left ear, pull your left shoulder back. Then down, towards the left side of the pelvis, and then forward. Start moving very slowly, becoming aware of each point to which you want to direct your shoulder. As very slowly as possible, friends, noticing every movement that occurs very carefully. How exactly this movement is given to you in this direction? Precisely. And start drawing a circle, connecting these 4 points very carefully and precisely, very smoothly. Keeping a relaxed face, a relaxed jaw, and free, calm, and relaxed breathing. Your left palm is still resting on the left side of your pelvis, and only your shoulder is moving. Begin to gradually and gently accelerate the movement of your shoulder. Slowly. Accelerate by drawing the same clear circle. Allow your chest to respond in your mind, engaging in the process. You draw a circle, accelerating more and more. The amplitude of the movement will decrease. Breathe. We accelerate. We accelerate. Slightly reduce the amplitude, maintain the circle, and gradually start to slow down. Stop gently in the center and carefully, smoothly roll onto your back. Take a deep breath and relax your body. How do you currently feel the contact of your chest with the floor? Notice the sensations, the pressure, and the warmth. Pay attention to how your chest rises and falls with each breath, and how it connects with the surface beneath you. What is the floor beneath your feet trying to communicate to you about your current state of being and your inner self at this very moment in time? Perhaps your breathing has changed, and you are breathing more into the left side of your chest than the right. Start gently and slowly turning your head from side to side. What has changed in this movement? Has your head become freer to move? Stop in the center and we will lie down on the other side, on the left side. Place your left hand under your head if necessary. Use a cushion. Bend your legs at the knees and position your right hand along your body on your right hip. And begin to gently move your right shoulder forward and then return it to the center. Move your right shoulder forward in a smooth and controlled motion, then gently return it back to the center position, ensuring that you maintain proper posture throughout the movement. The neck is relaxed, the whole body is relaxed, the facial muscles are relaxed, and you move the right shoulder slightly forward and then gently bring it back. How does the movement on this side compare to the left side? Do you feel a difference in the movement of your shoulder? And let your head and chest gently and slowly follow the movement of your shoulder. Your head rolls slightly down towards the floor. Your chest rolls. Feel how you begin to press more on your lower left ribs as you roll over them. Do you notice other parts of your body? Or have you focused all your attention only on one shoulder? Try to broaden your vision of yourself. In general, try to notice yourself as a whole in this movement. How does your pelvis react exactly? How do your legs react precisely? And stop in the center, resting in this position, lying on your side. And now start moving your right shoulder back and return it back to the center, back, and return it back to the center. How is this movement for you here? Is it more difficult or easier? Is it clearer to you, or on the contrary, less clear? How does your head react to this movement? It immediately and without hesitation starts to move along with your shoulder in a way that... How does your chest respond? Can you separate the movement of the shoulder from the chest? Or do you immediately want to move your whole body as a single entity? Try to isolate the shoulder movement at first. Only the shoulder moves back and returns to the center. The shoulder blade moves closer to the spine and then slightly away. It gradually approaches and then a bit slightly recedes. And then allow your head to slowly roll and return back to its original position. Your head and chest roll gently. Your gaze is directed slightly more towards the ceiling and then returns back to its original position. Are you breathing while doing this? What type of breathing do you choose? Do you turn towards the ceiling on the inhale or the exhale and begin to gradually move forward, bringing the shoulder forward, allowing the chest to roll slightly forward and then back? Slightly slow down the pelvis, allowing the chest to move more. If you feel discomfort somewhere, please play around with the position of your left shoulder. Take care of yourself. And observe whether you are doing it automatically or if you can really notice what you are doing. Stop. Roll onto your back. And just lie down and observe what has changed in your breathing. Take a moment to notice the subtle differences. What has changed now in your chest? Pay attention to the sensations, in how it contacts the floor. Feel the connection and the support. Maybe the head is positioned differently, or perhaps maybe the pelvis is positioned differently. And again, roll onto your left side. Place your left hand slightly under your head. Bend your legs slightly at the knees. Your right arm should be gently along your body. And start pulling your right shoulder up to your right ear and returning it to the center. Begin pulling your right shoulder to your ear and returning it to the center. Can you please draw a straight line for me a bit more carefully? Or does the shoulder want to go somewhere all the time? Maybe forward, maybe a little backward, perhaps diagonally. What about your palm? It glides effortlessly over your smooth and soft. The right buttock along the right thigh, or you can gently and slowly keep your palm still. Please keep your palm still and only move the shoulder, ensuring that you do not shift your hand. Stop in the center and start lowering your right shoulder down, returning it back to the center. Lower the right shoulder down towards your right hip and then return it back. What is the range of motion on this side? Do you move your shoulder down on the inhale or on the exhale? How exactly does your head react to this movement? And how do your ribs respond? And start drawing a straight line now, lifting your shoulder up towards your ear and then lowering it down towards the right side of your pelvis. And you draw a smooth and continuous line, gradually reaching the highest maximum point at the bottom and the highest maximum point at the top, ensuring precision and accuracy. And make sure to try your best to make this particular movement as smooth, gentle, and fluid as you possibly can, ensuring it flows seamlessly. Do you feel anywhere that the movement is interrupted? Are you breathing at that moment, or is your breath held? Stop in the center and rest a little in this position on your side. And now start to lift your shoulder up to the maximum point. Move it forward, lower the shoulder down towards the side of the pelvis, and then move the shoulder back. And again, you lift your shoulder up towards your ear, move it forward, then down, and then back. And we begin to connect these 4 points. This movement is already familiar to you. We do it on the other side. We initiate circular movements, connecting 4 points. Friends, please move very slowly, very mindfully, being aware of every moment of your movement. Is it really indeed a circle? Is your right palm truly, actually, really resting still on the right half of your pelvis? Or is it sliding? Keep your palm still. How does your chest respond gently? How do your lower ribs react to this gentle movement and steadily? And start to gradually and slowly engage your whole body in this movement, allowing your head to move, your chest to move, and gently rolling a bit forward and backward. Breathe calmly. The palm rests, motionless on the right half of the pelvis. Stop the movement of the chest. Initiate movement only slightly with your right shoulder. Separate from head, start to accelerate from chest. Speed up, speed up. Breathe calmly, draw a circle. a perfect circle slowly. The amplitude decreases as you accelerate the movement. Accelerate, accelerate. And gradually slow down. Slowly and carefully, we come to a complete stop. And very gently roll onto your back, making sure you are comfortable. Fully stretch your legs. Stretch your arms. And notice how you are lying right now. Have you noticed any changes in your body's symmetry? Do you feel more balanced and symmetrical now? Or do you still feel a sense of asymmetry? Begin by gently turning your head from one side to the other, paying close attention to any differences or changes in this movement. Observe how your neck and shoulders feel as you move. After a few gentle turns, come to a stop and carefully roll onto your left side. Take a moment to notice how your body feels in this new position. Are there any areas of tension or relaxation that stand out to you? Continue to observe and be mindful of these sensations. Gently place your left hand under your head. Your right hand rests comfortably on the right side of your pelvis. Carefully. And we start moving in a circle in the opposite direction. Raise your shoulder up towards your ear, then move it back, and finally down. Forward, and again up to the ear, back, down, and forward. We start very slowly, friends. Let's observe what happens with the palm. Does the palm want to move together with your shoulder all the time? And keep the palm still. How does the movement happen in this direction? Is there perhaps any tension here that is maybe holding your shoulder and your scapula? Can you perhaps let go of all the unnecessary stress and tension that we actually create in our bodies? Do you indeed know where the center of your circle is? Is it really a circle? Or is there something that prevents this? What is it? It is your neck, your chest. And begin to gently allow your entire body to engage in the movement of your circle, letting your chest, head, and shoulders respond to this movement. The chest rolls slightly forward and then a bit more backward, but all the movement is initiated by your right shoulder. Stop the movement of the chest and head. Initiate only the movement of the right shoulder. Start to accelerate. Breathe calmly and gently as if drawing a circle in your mind. Allow the movement to be smooth, continuous, and effortlessly. We accelerate even more. Very smooth movement. Start to gradually and steadily slow down. And lie on your back. Take a moment to relax and rejuvenate your mind and body. Find a comfortable spot, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. Notice how the position of your chest, your head, and your shoulder blades has changed now. And also, have you noticed that your back has become noticeably flatter? Almost as if someone has taken a hot iron and pressed it down completely flat? This change can be quite surprising and concerning. Start now by lifting both shoulders up towards the ceiling and then lowering them back to the center. Lift both shoulders up towards the ceiling and return them to the center. And observe if there is one shoulder that consistently leads, wanting to move up towards the ceiling faster, possibly with a greater amplitude. Try to make the movement of your shoulders even and with the same amplitude in a balanced manner, and ensure that the movement is smooth and consistent. They simultaneously lift off the floor and you direct them upwards towards the ceiling. And they also gently and smoothly lower down at the same time and touch the floor. And the movement is very smooth, both up and down, friends. You don't drop your shoulders down. Instead, you let them glide up and then back down. The movement of the shoulders is the same. Take a deep breath, relax your mind, and let go of all the stress and tension you are holding on to. Drop your shoulders. Now start pressing both shoulders down into the floor and releasing them at the same time. Press down gently and slowly into the floor, and then release with control. You feel, press your shoulder blades into the floor, sinking them into your mat, and then releasing. Try to make the movement exactly the same on both the right and left sides. To ensure the best results, make sure to apply equal and consistent pressure across the entire surface area. If you feel that one shoulder wants to always lead the other, please try to synchronize them. As much as possible, try to do this. Do you perform this action while you are inhaling or when you are exhaling? Please clarify. And let go of everything. Just lie down and scan your body now for a moment. Have you noticed any changes in your height recently? Are you growing taller, or have you become shorter over time? How are your hips positioned right now, currently? How exactly is your pelvis positioned? Has your lower back become easier to move and less painful over time, allowing you to perform daily activities with greater comfort and ease? How exactly is your chest currently positioned right now, at this moment? Your shoulder blades? How is your head positioned right now, at this very moment? Start slowly and gently turning your head from side to side. Has there been any noticeable change or difference in the overall quality and the amplitude or range of the movements of your head? Consider if there have been any alterations in how your head moves, both in terms of the quality of the movement and the extent or range of the motion. And how are your hands lying on the floor right now, at this moment? Perhaps they have become longer right now. And when you are ready, we will very smoothly transition into a seated position through a roll. Don't rush to get up, friends. Give yourselves time, and then smoothly transition to a standing position. Stand up there, and feel how you are standing right now, at this very moment. How long and free your neck has indeed become now, truly, remarkably so. Very much now. How do you currently perceive your shoulders at this very moment in time? The position of your chest over your pelvis right now? Your head over the chest? Start by turning only your head, first to one side and then to the other, noticing what has changed compared to the beginning of the lesson. Start slowly turning your whole body, first to one side and then to the other, gently. What has changed here? Take a careful look around the room. Observe your walk, how you are walking right now, carefully, right now. And please try not to pick up your phones for at least the next 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Just walk and just simply be inside yourself. Become aware of your body, your perhaps possibly new movement habits, and then be sure to share how you feel and why. Have a good day.